Hello there. Let's slowly fade away our intro there. Well, welcome to the Mental Man. We have a small live studio today, so say hi everyone. Very good. We've even got a crow supporter. Only joking. Okay, so you will see that the Mental Man has become a man today. We've been unable to get our clocks and timings to pass correctly, so I've decided to put on a show solo today, and so here I am doing the show solo. I wanted to, for my own reasons, get the show up and running. Two reasons mainly. One, I've had my own issues dealing with mental health this week. It's not been a good week for me. The black dogs paid a visit, and the main reason is because we put on a Facebook team, a Facebook group. What would you like asked of us while we're doing our shows? Because this is what we're doing it for, people. Answering questions for you, or trying to find questions for you, and keep it interesting so you stick around and you watch the series, sort of thing. So now we had a lot of interesting comments, and I'm going to touch on most of them today. There was one particular one that we got from Tina. Now, before we go into that, I will just do our disclaimer that we do every week. Now, if you or someone you know is having a crisis, you should ring the mental health crisis number on 131465. We recommend a mature audience, as the themes we talk about are not suitable for children. Coarse language may be used from time to time. Our views portrayed on this show are our own. They are our opinions and no one else's. We're not doctors or healthcare professionals. We're just two blokes with a ton of lived experience looking to lend a hand to anyone who needs it. So, going back to Tina's question. Now, her question was, sometimes we don't even know we have a problem, so we can't seek help because we don't know we need it. Now, I've been thinking about that a lot over the last few days. Don't know why that's resonated with me, but it has. Now, Tim, when Tim was on episode 2, he mentioned that he had no idea there was even a problem. So, so what do you do when you don't even know you have a problem? It wasn't until he hit rock bottom and something happened, and then he went, oh my God, that's, So if you don't know you have a problem, how can you fix the problem? Now with me, it was, I knew I had a problem, but it wasn't until my wife said to me, you need to get help because you can't expect us to go through this with you if you're not prepared to help yourself, which was a spot on comment. If you've got family or you're living with people, it's not fair for you to put people through the shit that is mental health. And so we all get our help in different ways, and we all get to that spot at different times, and we all take different paths to remedy it. And this is the thing which makes mental health so hard, is that there's no one fix all pill we can take. Some of us need medication, some of us don't. Some of us need lots of therapy, some of us don't. Some of us just, through pure things like exercise and changing lifestyle, it helps them. Some people it doesn't. This is what makes mental health so hard in treating, because what works for one person doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for someone else. And this is where, I've not mentioned them before, but Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation, they are, and that's an organisation that our family, or my family, has worked with over the last few years, and their goal is to find out why we are suffering from depression. Instead of fixing it when we've already got it, they're going to try and find out why we get it and try and stop us from getting it, which is, bloody brilliant. Because if it can stop us from getting depression, then, it's fantastic. So, yeah, so that's something that's really, really, really good. Sorry, I'm just trying to multitask here. So yeah, finding out when we've got a problem and we can't seek help if we don't know we need it. If you're a family member and you've got someone who's suffering, my wife had to go to Beyond Blue first and spent quite a few months chatting with Beyond Blue with their SMS service, and that's how she learnt the tools to deal with me and then help me the way she could. So yeah, and I will just put up, seeing that we're talking about things here now, this show is recorded in Australia, Adelaide to be precise. So the numbers that we give out over the show are for Australia only. If you are in Australia, Beyond Blue, you can give them a call on 1300 224 636 or Lifeline 131114. So that's for people who are struggling and just want to talk, just want to vent. If you are in serious trouble, you are at the end, or you think you know someone who is close to calling it quits, the mental health triage service 131465 is the number there. Now for Adelaide specifically, the Adelaide Greater Metro area, we recently opened up, and we talked about this in episode 3, I think it was the Urgent Mental Health Care Centre, a 24-hour centre, east end of Grenfell Street. You can just pop in there, but if you can give them a call and give them a heads up you're coming, give them a call on 8448 9100. And of course, all our regional brothers and sisters out there in regional SA, give them a call on 1300 032 186. So we'll put those numbers up at the end of the screen, and don't forget this is being recorded and we're on many platforms now, so if you ever want to rewatch a show and forgot what the information was we were talking about or how to get a hold of them, there at the end we'll put up all this where you can find us. And yeah, so there you go. We're trying to make this as easy as possible for everybody. Now, yeah, so if we don't know we have a problem, we can't fix ourselves. So yeah, look, there's no one quick fix for this. This is just I've been going through mine now for quite a few years, dealing with PTSD, and now pain has crept into my life, which when you're crippled with pain on a daily basis, it makes mental health seem like a walk in the park. So yeah, so Tina, that was a really, really good question, and I probably could go on more about it, but I think I've given it my 10 minutes worth. So another question, Amber sent a question in saying COVID and the increase in things in smoking and drinking, etc. Well, yeah, often there is a correlation with mental health and addiction, whether it's alcohol, drugs. Was asked at a very early stage, why do you think I didn't take up drinking or drugs or things like that? And quite simply, I threw myself into my work. So I addicted to work. So the worse I was, the more the longer hours I'd spend in the office, with working 6-7 days, nights a week, on location, and then working in the office. So hence, 2 marriages broke up because of it. So yeah, and has COVID caused more addiction, which has led to depression? Well, we're not going to know the statistics that COVID has done and what it's done in relation to suicide, because the suicide rates are going to go mental. All the business owners that have lost everything, even my business is just hanging on by a thread, but it's just doesn't have COVID. We get sick and get over it. There's just so many things. It's just such a complex web that's unfolding here, and we're going to be feeling the effects of COVID, whether it be from economically, suicides, because people can't pay the mortgages anymore. They can't put food on the table, and people who can't handle the pressure and have turned to drug and alcohol. We're not going to see any data on that until, I guess, things like census come out, and then we find out the raw data that's been going on, and go from there. So yeah, some unbelievable questions that have come out from people. And another one here, I'm sorry, as I'm looking, there's up on my screen over there, I'm reading off my cue cards. So if I keep looking over that way I should say, I'm going off the emails and notes that people have sent us. So yeah, to Amber, yeah, we don't know the figures, and we won't know the figures. I might send a few emails out and see if we can try and find if there are any recent data that we can correlate with and bring to the show. So yes, now one thing I wanted to bring up as well was when I recently just spent 9 days in hospital in the Moria ward. Now, when I was in there, I overheard a question. A lady who was sitting next to me was looking at her phone, and then looked up at us as a group and said, "How does the day with depression look?" I said, "How the hell do I answer that?" And a friend of her had sent her, knew she was in the hospital, and said, "How does a day with depression look?" And for someone who's never had depression, how do you describe it? Because it's a feeling. It's just something that takes a hold of your body, and whenever I'm